Hi, in today's video we are going to be looking at the next steps that we're going to be doing in our blue and purple soft book journal. So this is a slow stitching embroidery practice book, and I started off with you talking about the pages, and now we're going to be putting the cover and embellishments inside, and I'll show you now how I put the pages together and how I put the cover on. Now I went to an antique store yesterday and was able to find this beautiful basket pin, and this is vintage. I don't know what year it's from, and I love the color of the blue stones that are in it. I need to just polish them up a little bit with some peroxide, and it will shine them right up because there's just a little bit of dust on them. But I'm going to pin it right here to the front cover of this journal. Now let's talk about the cover here just for a minute and what I did on the cover. I cut out this little panel here that has the clocks on it, and there was wording on it that says fashion plate. So this was a Paris theme scrap panels, and so this is just the only piece that I had. It was I got it from one of my friends off of Facebook. All her leftover scraps I purchased from her every now and again, every couple of years, and so this was in there. And so I also, to make the border around this panel, I cut a strip off of another piece of fabric and a top and a bottom panel. And then I had, through my stash, some of this beautiful Battenberg lace, and I cut a piece for this corner here, and then I have this piece here that I put across the top. I thought that looked really pretty. And a vintage button and some trim, and I just cut it and tied it and wrapped it around the button and tied a bow in it. Now let's open it up and let me show you what I'm working on the inside. Okay, so I had 3 pages for this book, and I made a spine piece, which is this white piece right here. So I cut this piece 6 1/4 inches and roughly probably about 12 inches, not 12 inches, let me think, 9 inches, approximately 9 inches. So I left a 3-inch overlap here, 3 inches for the 3 pages, and then this little approximately 3 inches for back here. And then what I did was I sewed each of these pages to this spine piece. So you can see here's the stitching here. I did it in purple. And then I showed you how to attach the hinge piece to the front and back pages. So that was in the last video. And then I stitched this page. And then lastly, I stitched this page. Okay, so then that got the 3 pages attached to this spine piece. And then I cut another piece of fabric that was probably more than 12 inches, because this is 6 inches, and so I left about, so probably 14 inches. So 6 1/2 by 14 inches was this other piece of fabric. Okay, now I've stitched the spine piece here to this first piece of fabric. I have it pinned down to my cover. So let me open it up and show you the cover. So what I did is I put a binding piece like you would on a quilt at the top, all across the top, and I had to use and splice it to get that covered. I didn't have a long piece in that fabric. And then I'm doing the same thing down here. So I cut this piece and stitched it on, cut this piece and stitched it on, and now I will continue and I will cover up this so you'll have, you see how you see the raw edge here? Then that will be covered up. And then this is going to be a pocket, so I'm going to put a strip here, cover up this raw edge, and then this closes, and as you can see now, it goes past my pages, so there won't be anything hanging out over the edge. I didn't want that. So, and the same thing here. I made a pocket here, so this will be a pocket. I will stitch it here. I will stitch it here. I've already stitched it right there. And so that will be the end of putting the cover on. Finish up this raw edge here, and I folded this under so that finished that, raw edge, got rid of that. So now the next step will be to stitch this part of the spine, keeping it flat like this so there's no opening, no gaps, and stitch this flat. I usually do two rows. Then I can come in, put a decorative piece of fabric and lace over these stitches and over this seam here. Covers that up completely. And then on my spine, where the stitches are being seen here, I will take a piece of lace and I will cover that up, and then I will just stitch it into this top piece here. Now let's go through and look at the pages. Look at what I've done on the pages. I've already shown a little bit to you in the previous video. So this was the waterfall piece. So these individual pieces of fabric here can be stitched and decorated further. Can add buttons to it, whatever I want. I made a pocket here, layered some beautiful fabrics here, made another pocket here, and I'm going to make little journals to go into these, and we're going to make those together. And then I stitched more fabrics together here, and just using a basic running stitch. I have not put any decorative embroidery stitches in here yet. And so just using the running stitch just to attach all these fabrics to each page. And this was a little pocket here and a little pocket here. I can just, put maybe like a needle threader or something like that in there. Another little book of some sort there. This was just a fun page to do. Lots of different elements, lots of different pieces. A little piece of trim here, more here, buttons, and just lots of different elements going on to that blue and purple theme. This is a fun page. I just love this page, and I'm going to find something that I can put right here. I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but I really want to make it fun. And then here's the back of this page. Again, just lots of beautiful trims and fun elements that I put together and stitched here. It was just lots of joy. I mean, these books just bring you so much joy, and I just highly recommend them. So I have, blue and pink and purple in my shop. So if you choose that you want to pick up something and help support my channel here, that's wonderful. Otherwise, you can make it with your own supplies, watching me and how I do it. And there's lots of other videos showing you the techniques. Okay, then I purchased some Dogwood Lane buttons recently. I love that clothing line, and vintage buttons, the ceramic buttons that they put on there. And so I was able to get my hands on some because it's very hard to come by. And so I put a bunny rabbit here, which I just love rabbits and bunnies. And then I put a kitty cat on this page, and made a little cluster here and a little cluster here just for them to perch on. And then this last page, again, I've got this section here that I want to put something really beautiful. And then in the back pocket, I'm going to make some little journal to go in there, and then another one here after I stitch this up. So the last thing to do is to cut fabric to cover this raw edge here, finish stitching this spine piece here, and then decorating that. So I'll come back with you and show you that, and then covering up this raw edge here. That's what I'm going to do this afternoon. And then tomorrow I will finish up the sewing the pockets in place, and then we'll start making the journals to go in the pockets together. So I just absolutely loved how this came together, and this is a lot of beautiful layers. So this quilted fabric here, my friend Rita had gifted me a lot of her fabric. So this was a white piece, and I covered it up with this beautiful floral and butterfly fabric. So this is a beige butterfly that's stamped there. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll try to zoom in later when I do the uploading of the video. And then this fabric I purchased, I think this came off of a stash I got off of eBay last year. And I love this. It's kind of like a gauzy kind of fabric. It's very stretchy one way, but it didn't stretch the other way. So I put it in the direction where it wouldn't stretch. And then went through, and for the spine, I just wanted a plain piece. I didn't need anything decorative. So, because I knew it was going to be covered up with all these other layers. And then the pages, again, were just made out of felt. And then I decorated by layering the fabrics on top. So didn't that just turn out absolutely beautiful? I mean, isn't it coming together absolutely looking gorgeous? And then my pen that is going to go on here. I just am so happy with all of the elements. And that's another thing about when you make these and you're decorating them, you're just able to use so many beautiful varieties of fabrics and trims and your thread and embellishments, and even like this now you can put a brooch on there, and or make, if you do jewelry making and beading, you could make something and hang on there. And with the pages inside, you can make beautiful dangles that can hang off the side of the pages. So I'm going to be making things to hang off the side of the pages. So it's just a beautiful work of art when you get it finalized. So these are really fabric art books, in my opinion. So it's just so fun to make these fabric soft books for adults, to practice your embroidery stitching, practice your slow stitching, and I mean, just make it something that it is your personality. And this really is a part of my personality and who I am. So I just love everything from Victorian and, you know, hundreds of years ago. I just love that whole, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Slower paced and politeness, manners, you know, things like that. That's the values that I love. That's what I like the most from that time period. And so I just love to revive that when I'm making my books and my journals and the embellishments. All of that is what is going into these beautiful finished pieces of art, are those values. So I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough and explanation of this, how to make the soft book and how to sew your cover on and your pages in, and making the spine and attaching it and then decorating the pages. I hope this has really inspired you. And if you are taking part in the Slow Stitching Sampler series, our January quilt block is the hexagon shape and a tiny house. So you may not be doing the hexagon shape as your background foundation piece to put your tiny house on, but I would love to see what you are doing. And please post your pictures in the Facebook group, Slow Stitching Sampler. It's a public group, so anyone who wants to take part in this series can join. And I would love for you to start posting and letting me know what stage are you at. Are you still in the preliminary, putting your supplies together stage? Have you cut out anything? Do you have the kit? Do you need the kit? You know, look in the description box below for the link to get the kit. The little templates that I put in there to make the kit, very easy so that you can use them to cut out your fabric pieces and then sew them together. Everything you need, your floss, your embroidery thread, floss, the fabrics, the laces, the patterns are all included in the kit. The only thing you need is your scissors and your needle and the time. So I hope that I've made it very easy for you to take part in this, and I'm having so much fun, and I want you to have that much fun as well by joining in with this. And please leave me a comment and let me know where you're watching from, and did you learn something today, and what do you like best about this soft book that I've made? Because if you've seen my pink one and my purple one, and but what do you like about this one? So I hope that you will have a conversation with me, because I love to talk to you and know what you think. So I appreciate you being here with me today, and I will leave it here. So stay safe, keep creating in the sunshine, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.